All right, well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Claim Your Future event. This is our 7th event over the years, and it's sponsored by the School District of Palm Beach County, of course, and then our Business Development Board, or BDB. You know, I'm pretty sure at this point in your academic careers you know a lot about the school district, but I'm not sure how much you know about the Business Development Board. So, the Business Development Board, BDB for short, is led by Kelly Smallridge. And Kelly Smallridge is a proud graduate of John I. Leonard High School. We got any Lancers here today? Maybe they're coming later. We got another group coming in this afternoon. But the Business Development Board has a really important role. And what Ms. Smallridge and her team do is they go around the country, even around the globe, and they recruit businesses to either relocate or expand in Palm Beach County. And business is booming. They've done excellent work. Has anybody heard the term Wall Street South? Anybody? Yes, thank you, sir. So Wall Street South, what that refers to is there's been so many of the big Wall Street financial firms that now have either moved or added offices in Palm Beach County. It's a very fast-growing sector of our economy, and it's pretty exciting because you've got major, these are big companies that they realized kind of during the pandemic they didn't have to be right at Wall Street to carry out their work. And why not be in Palm Beach County? It's a beautiful place to live. So that part of the economy in Palm Beach County is growing. The jobs there really taken off. And it's not all finance. There's a wide array of businesses moving into Palm Beach County and a lot that are already here. So that's kind of the point of this event is we want you as students to kind of get exposed to some of these potential careers. And the other thing I just want to say, so all these businesses, right, when they make the decision to come to Palm Beach County, they have questions of us, right? They want to know, do we have a good school system? Do we have a skilled and talented workforce? And that's where you all come in. You are the future workforce of Palm Beach County. And when I say future, it's not that distant future. Your future is fast approaching. I'm talking about the decisions you make between now and your mid-20s are going to have a tremendous impact and shape your career path. So this is a good time to really start thinking about, what you want to do. Some of you probably already have a pretty good idea. Maybe you're in our career academies. You've got a pretty good handle on what you want to do. Others may be still figuring it out. I was still figuring it out when I was in high school. That's okay. The important thing is that you're always kind of investing in yourself, right? As you're wading your way through making decisions, invest in yourself. That means education. That could be go to college. It could be technical schools. Some of the trades jobs are very well paying and they're in high demand. It could mean going into the armed services for a while to get help paying with your education or to make a career out of it. Or it could be an apprenticeship, when you're working alongside, learning the skill set. Think about those opportunities. You could, take that and maybe start as a apprentice, work your way up, start your own business. There's a lot of opportunities. And it's going to be your drive, your decisions, your work ethic that really shapes your future. I guess the other thing I just want to say is, and I've got 3 kids. They're now 25, 23, 21, and I had to kind of give them a little speech as well because the couple finished college and they think, okay, I finished college, now I'm going to go get my big high-paying job. I want to be the boss, right? And that's not how it works. We all usually start out at the entry level. So just kind of know that going in, that you're going to have to work hard, and it's going to take time. And, you build that career. You got to pay the cost to be the boss, as James Brown would say. So just manage your expectations. Know you're going to go into something. You're going to have to prove yourself. You're going to have to develop your reputation, and that's going to help lead to your advancement. So my advice to you when you land that first job, take pride in your work. Right? Strive to be the best at whatever you're doing. Be friendly. Be friendly to your coworkers, your customers, everyone, colleagues. People want to work with other folks that are fun to be around. And, something my mom used to always tell me was, don't dress for the job you have, dress for the job you want. That's good advice because as you're going through your career, and people, you're going to be competing for promotions, the bosses are going to look and say, wow, I can see John as the manager. He kind of looks like one already, the way he's, he's pitching in, he's taking on additional responsibilities, he's dressed nice, whatever. So that's part of my advice. Always volunteer to take on more responsibility. Make your boss look good. If you make your boss look good, they're going to want to, keep you around and see you advance. And then most importantly, keep your integrity. You have to be honest. You got to be truthful. If you say you're going to do something, do it. So anyway, that's enough preaching from me. But I appreciate you putting up with it. It's trust me. It's when you're at this age, it's maybe you got a lot going on, but just think of those things, and I think it'll serve you well. All right. Well, we got a big day today. We got a lot of our business leaders here, and I really want you to take advantage of this opportunity to ask them questions, try to learn from them. You're at a pivotal point kind of in your lives here, and these are folks that are invested in you, right? They've been paying taxes for our school system. They have their businesses here. They're making their livelihood, and a lot of it depends on them being able to attract and retain good employees. And they need you, and you need them, right? So let's really take advantage of this opportunity to help position you. Maybe you can learn some things here today that will shape what you decide to do when you go to school, your next steps with your life after graduation from high school. All right, so at this point, I'd like to thank our grand sponsor, which is Wells Fargo. Can I get a round of applause for Wells Fargo? All right. And it is my honor and privilege to introduce Miss Lisa Park. And Ms. Park is our Vice President, a Senior Program Manager for Wells Fargo Bank. She's also a member of our Education Foundation, which does a lot of good work to support the schools. And we are honored to have her here with us today. So please welcome Ms. Park. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Burke, and welcome to everybody. It is so great to be here with you all today. I will say I wanted to just pause and take a moment to say to everybody, congratulations on your resiliency over these last couple of years. I know it's been unprecedented times, but it is very comforting to see the faces and to be here with you all today. So today, and let me just make sure the clicker's working. Let's make sure we can advance. There we go. I get to talk to you about a really fun topic, and I say fun because most of you are going to find throughout your lifetime that not just once, not just twice, not 3 times, way more, I've lost count, you will probably be buying or leasing a car throughout your life. So I thought today we could talk together a little bit about what goes into buying a car, how I can help you think about some smart car shopping tips and ideas, and if you do need to finance a car, what really goes into financing the car. So just by the show of hands, how many of you in this room think in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years you'll need a car? Ah, what I thought. Most of you. Okay, so are you ready to take this very short car buying journey with me? We good? Okay. So let's go ahead and think about all of the things that you need to think about when it comes to buying a car. So first of all, what I would say is managing your money is a huge responsibility. But also thinking about savings is very, very important. And why do we want to think about savings? Well, when it comes to buying a car, we're going to have to ask ourselves, how much is the car going to cost? Is it going to be something that I'm going to have enough cash for? Or might I need to apply for a loan? If I need to apply for a loan, what does that mean? How much is that going to cost me? Is it something that will fit into my budget? So there's a lot of questions that you'll want to ask yourself around buying a car. So it starts with a very simple principle, and that is, if you can help yourself out, you'd want to start by saving some money. And what's important about savings is when you put money into a savings account at a bank, that's what we call FDIC insured, so it's a safe place to keep your money. So when it's time that you need that money for a down payment for a car or for other types of important needs throughout your lifetime, you have access to that money. I will say, I'm going to talk a little bit about interest rates, so it's important to know not all savings accounts, not all types of bank accounts pay interest, but some do, so that's something that you'll want to check into. And when we talk about interest, you're going to see as I show you some slides how interest is impacted, especially when you're doing a loan. But interest in a savings account, what that really means is you put money in the bank, and the bank is saying, thank you for that money. And so for that money, they're going to pay you interest. And that helps your money grow over time. And what's important about interest is it has a lot to do with what that rate is, how long you're going to keep the money in the account. So there are lots of different factors, but the bottom line is there's an opportunity for your money to grow faster. And you see up here something called compound interest. What that means is when interest is paid, most banks will pay it in compound interest. So that means that when you're putting money aside in the account and interest helps it grow, then you get paid on that interest as well. So you end up getting paid more money, not just on what you put in, but on how that total account dollar is growing as well. So as we think about planning and saving for a car, I need some help, first of all, from all of you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the price of cars and give you some examples of some loans. But can you tell me, besides the sticker price of the car, can anybody raise their hand and tell me what else goes into car expenses when we think about a car? Yes, right here. Gas, right? And the price of gas up and down, right? What else goes into cars? General maintenance, right? All of a sudden the tires go. There's lots of things that can happen maintenance-wise. I saw your hand go up. Was it the same thing? Insurance, the big one. You all just hit all the big ones, exactly. So when you get a car, it's not just about how much is the car going to cost. You're also thinking now, what else do I have to think about? What other costs are going to go into this car? So one of the things I would tell you is you also want to consider, am I looking for a new car? Is a used car better? But I also want you to pause, and when you go to get this first or second car, I want you to think about this. There's wants and there's needs. And all of us in this room may say, I want a fancy car. But what do you really need? What does the car do? The need is the car is transportation to get me from point A to point B, right? And so I want you to think about that, because it's great to want those fancy cars, but by the time you figure out the insurance and the gas mileage and what it's going to cost to maintain that car, you'll all of a sudden realize you're going to have to sacrifice a lot of other things if you really do that. So I want to help you visualize a little bit more about what goes into the cost of a car. And so there are a lot of things that go into the cost of the car. It's not just the sticker price. So you need to be thinking too about title registration. There's taxes that go into the car. You got to pay the license plate fees. And so right up front, it's not just the sticker price. Now all of a sudden there's hundreds of dollars more that maybe you didn't plan for, but now you're prepared for that as well. You also want to think about, is the car dealer going to ask me for a down payment, or whoever's going to do the loan for you? And what do we mean by that? A down payment means that they're asking you to put a little bit of money into the car. What's important when you get a car is, unless you have cash in the bank, and I will tell you, I don't ever remember a time throughout my career that there was enough cash just sitting in the bank to go pay outright for that car. So I generally did some kind of a loan, or I might have leased on occasions throughout my career. But because we all don't typically have all that money up front, we do want to try to save to have down payment money, because I'm going to show you in just a minute, if you had a little bit of savings, how that might help you save money on that overall car purchase. So down payment is part of it. The other part of it is how long you're going to finance it for. Most car loans are typically 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. So let's look at some illustrations together. And I want you to help really visualize, and that's why I like what's on the screen now, because I think if you can see it sometimes, it makes it a little bit easier to relate to it. So one of the things that goes into a loan is the down payment I mentioned, which is the amount you're going to give to maybe reduce the overall cost or how much you're going to finance. There's also the term, so is it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? There's also going to be an interest charge, so the bank is going to want to charge you an interest fee because they're loaning you money for the car. Makes sense, right? Sounds like a fair agreement. But I also want you to know that that lender owns that car, not you, until you've paid it off in full. They have a security interest in the car. We call that the collateral, right? Your car is their collateral until you've paid it in full, and then you can get title to the car and own it. And that would be great because maybe then you won't have any more car payments. But as you all helped me with before, you're still going to have gas, you're still going to have insurance, and you're still going to have to maintain the car. So when we look at this example, what we want to show you here is the difference in this particular situation of what if I had some money to put down on the car. So you see in this example, it was a $10,000 loan that was being financed, but you had $2,000 that you've been saving. So you put $2,000 down on a down payment. So let's look at the first column together. In both cases, the term of the loan is going to be 3 years. We'll keep it simple. We're borrowing about $10,000. And the interest rate in this scenario, we're going to assume that because you had some savings, that you might be able to get a lower interest rate. So that's what we're assuming on this illustration, which means your monthly payment, since your interest rate was 5.88, your monthly payment is $243. The total interest that you're going to pay over that term, those 3 years, is $746. So the total cost of the car in the first example is $10,700 and change. But look at the difference if you didn't have a down payment. So let me explain. In that column, that $10,000 is made up of your $8,000 loan, the interest, and the $2,000 you put into it. In the second column, you didn't save. So maybe we're going to assume that they're going to charge you a little higher interest rate because you did not have any savings. So in that case, they're charging you over 8% interest in this illustration. And now you're going to have a higher monthly payment. You're going to pay more over the life of the loan. And now in that scenario, that car cost you more than your best friend because your best friend had $2,000 put into the car. So that's just an example of buying a car and having a down payment. Now in this one, we're going to look at it a little differently. In this one, we're going to look at and we're going to assume that the interest rate is the same in both situations. But look at the difference in the term of the loan. So sometimes we think, oh, it'd be great, I'd love to get it paid off in 3 years if I have enough money to do that. Well, what you notice is in 36 months on that $10,000, again, we're going to just assume the interest rate is the same in this case, you are going to have a higher monthly payment. Well, you're going to have a higher monthly payment because you have a shorter term to pay it. That means the total cost of your loan now with interest is a little over $11,306, and you paid about $1,306 in interest. But for those of you that are doing your smart car shopping and you're looking at terms and you looked at your budget and you said, you know what, I really can't afford that payment of $314, so I'm going to try to spread the car loan out a little bit longer. And I'm going to try to apply for a 5-year term, 60 months, and so my payment's going to be a little bit less. But what do you notice about the total cost of the car? Anybody? It's more money, right? Because you financed it over a longer period of time, which means you borrowed that money over a longer period of time, and so now you ended up paying a little bit more interest for the car. No right or wrong answer, just want you to see the difference when you're buying a car of what a term can do. And now let's look at a little bit about interest rates. And so this is, I really love this illustration, and I wish I had time to spend with you all and talk about credit, because credit is going to be something that's going to impact you throughout your life. But in this scenario, I just want you to learn and see that credit's going to matter, because how you handle your bank accounts, how you handle those credit cards and those loans is going to impact what kind of an interest rate that you are likely going to be able to get. So let's look at this scenario together about interest rate. So in this case, we have a $10,000 loan. Again, we're sticking with simple numbers. And we're going to do a 5-year term, 60 months. But in column A, you've really built your credit, you've proven you're responsible with your money, and you're going to get a 5% interest rate. So look at your monthly payment there, and you'll see that your total interest paid was $1,322. But for someone who is maybe new to credit, and so couldn't get the 5%, or maybe hasn't handled their credit well, and instead got a 15% loan, can anybody tell me, who's a good mathematician here, what did they end up paying? How much more did the person in column 2 end up paying for that loan than the person in the first column? Yes, right here. I'm sorry? About 3 times as much, you're right. So close to $3,000 more over the life of the loan. It's $2,900 and change, but almost $3,000, so almost 3 times as much because they had to get a higher interest rate. So again, I'm sharing all of this with you because we know that buying cars is going to be something we're all going to do throughout our lifetime. Managing our money and managing our credit is important, but equally important is saving. So when you can save, you can see that that might impact the rate, so it might help you save money. We also talked about before that by saving money, it also means you can make money on your money. And I'm here to tell you that the earlier you start, the faster you're going to get to those dreams of retirement in your future. And I know a lot of times students think, well, wait a minute, I'm just going to start getting into the work world. What do you mean retirement? One of the best lessons I ever learned was starting to save from that very first job, putting money aside at the very beginning. If the company you work for offers you some kind of a savings or what they call a 401k or a 403b retirement plan, start when you're young because that money is going to compound and grow over time. And putting savings aside for important purchases will also help you when it gets down the road to being able to get the loans that you want and really help you have more buying power. But I am going to tell you, cars are not cheap. Nowadays, it's a nightmare out there. Almost used cars are costing way more than what they normally would have. And so whether it's a new or a used car, I would tell you, do the shopping. I know most of you love to surf the internet, right? So before you go, maybe you could try to see if you could pre-qualify for a car loan. So before you go to that car dealer and get all wowed by the features on the car, instead, take the time to find out, well, how much can I afford? What do I need that monthly payment to look like so I can pay it? And what is my buying power? So when I go to that car dealership or I'm going to that used car lot, I know how much I can afford and I know what kind of loan I can get. So on that note, what I really just want to say to all of you is throughout your journey, cars are going to be part of your life, right? And so everything that you can do today to start planning and saving and making good financial choices will impact you throughout your lifetime. And I wanted to say on behalf of Wells Fargo, it is truly an honor and a treat to be here with you all today, and I hope this real brief journey on buying a car will help you all get set up for financial success. So thank you so much for your time today, and good luck, everybody.
New at 11, momentum is growing tonight as dozens of paddleboarders finish months of training. They're about to
roll the video
for one cause in the name of one girl. I caught up with this local group determined to inspire you with every breath they take. If you had to define endurance, this is it.
We're physically ready for the crossing. Here, it's the mental game.
These aren't your average paddleboarders, nor is this just another day on the water.
It's a big old nurse shark right here.
Ryan Burgess has been training for one of the longest journeys of his life, an expedition he's already made twice.
The ocean is my playground, it's my everything. When I'm on that board, it's a different mindset.
140 paddleboarders and 50 boats launch in a week for the 2021 Crossing for Cystic Fibrosis, an 18-hour fundraiser covering 80 miles overnight from Bimini to Lake Worth Beach. All for one 13-year-old who knows the pain of this disease more than anyone. Piper Suit was diagnosed with CF at the age of 4. Every day comes with breathing treatments and medicine. In fact, days before we shot this interview, she was released from the hospital overcoming a lung infection.
It blows my mind. There's that many people that know me and support me when I have no clue who they are.
An entire community paddling in her name, Piper's Angels, a nonprofit attached to the crossing to raise money and, more importantly, awareness for this lung disease that devastated her father and left him with only one option.
I realized the only way to make sense of all this was to see it as a gift, and that I was going to have to work really hard to do that, but somehow that was going to have to be what got us through.
Momentum caught on like the energy of a wave. Now, as the charity embarks on its 5th crossing, people from all over are stepping into the ocean to inspire every breath, including one of our own.
Being in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the night, is going to be surreal, and that will definitely be a moment that will take my breath away.
Anticipation builds each day for that moment when darkness turns to light, when mental and physical exhaustion thrust into motivation, when all the energy they can harness propels them to shore.
It changes the lives of people like myself. It gives me a purpose in the community.
All set in motion by the reality that each breath is a gift and never take it for granted.
And those with CF often visit the beach where the saltwater has become a natural healing method. There is no cure, and as Piper told us, each day is a blessing when her lungs aren't on fire and every breath is painless. This year's crossing will take place Sunday, June 27th at midnight, ending Sunday afternoon at Lake Worth Beach. We have put more information on how you can support this organization and others by going to our website, WPTV.com, and we wish all of them the best of luck on their journey.
All right. Might have to bump the volume down on this because I can bring a lot of energy into this microphone. Well, thank you for being present with me here today. I grew up in Palm Beach County. I went to Palm Beach Lakes High School. I don't know if we have any Rams in the house, but what I'd like to start with is just, if everybody could just take a real deep breath with me. Just on the count of 3, we'll breathe in real deep and exhale real deep. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now, if you could imagine what it would be like to not be able to breathe, to lose your ability to breathe, for your lungs to be burning. That's what the diagnosis at 4 years old of my daughter Piper was about. And I can tell you at that moment in time, if you've never considered that your life can change in one phone call, I can promise you now, it can. And when you get that call, and your heart gets broken, or that adversity hits, you're going to be presented with a situation and an opportunity that you have never faced in your life. And that's what happened when my daughter Piper was diagnosed. So my intention here with you is a couple things. One, it really doesn't matter what I say. The only thing that matters is how you feel. Because if you can walk away feeling a little more confident, a little more inspired, then it worked. We did our job together as a team. When you have a terminal illness and somebody says, this is what's going to kill you, your life changes in perspective. When that's your child, your life changes in perspective. And my intention in sharing our story, this story, is one very simple thing. And this is what I want you to remember. And this is what I challenge you to remember. Is that adversity in your life equals opportunity. And that might not be really palpable or present at this moment. Maybe it is. I don't know about you, but I remember middle school and high school, and some of it sucked. Some of it was really hard. There was a lot of pressure. Whatever the adversity is in your life, between your family, your friends, internally, the adversity is your opportunity. When Piper was diagnosed, it took me months to get through the heartbreak, the emotion. Don't Google cystic fibrosis. There's some really terrifying stuff on the internet. When you watch your daughter hospitalized, when you see the future of what a lung transplant looks like. Fear, grief, anxiety, stress. But I'll tell you that all of that is the soil for that seed of your growth to prosper. It took me 5 years to get to a point where I could see her diagnosis as a gift. And that came after being in the hospital one night with her. When she was 8 years old, she had lost a ton of weight. She had been hospitalized for months. They put in a feeding tube, and she was lying in the hospital bed at midnight, asleep, and I was in the cot next to her in a very quiet hospital in Orlando. She sat up in the middle of the night. She turned and looked at me, and with tears in her eyes, she said, "Daddy, my lungs are burning." I had never known what that felt like. I called the nurse in. The nurse gave her some pain medication. She went back to bed. I walked out in the hallway, and I collapsed in a big puddle of tears, an emotional wreck. The next day, I got in my van, and I drove to Jupiter, Florida, to speak at a Cystic Fibrosis Foundation event. I couldn't speak. I couldn't get on the mic. I couldn't say anything. I didn't choose to be a public speaker. I didn't choose to go into the nonprofit world. Life presented that at a crossroads and a choice. And the only thing that I could mutter, the only thing that I could think was, this is a gift. Because I could see how it was challenging me to grow as a father. I could see how it was challenging our family to become better, to become stronger. Think about it. What adversity do you have in your life right now that is challenging you to grow, that is challenging you to be better? We all have adversity. And a lot of us love to run from it. We don't want to be held accountable. I had to give up on every dream, every investor, every partner. I had to walk away from everything I had because I couldn't focus on anything but her. So I started Piper's Angels Foundation from scratch 5 years ago. And since then, through the crossing, this major event, we've raised millions of dollars. I've done a TEDx talk telling our story. We've had Jimmy Buffett join our advisory board for the foundation. We've helped hundreds of families with cystic fibrosis across the country. And I share the results of that because adversity is your opportunity. I didn't plan to be in this role. I'd rather not be here telling my daughter's story of how she's facing the reality of a terminal disease. But if I don't make something out of it, if I don't take that challenging circumstance and turn it into something that I can share, if I can't take her beautiful energy, her beautiful love, and bring it to you, to offer it in service out of gratitude that I have this opportunity to be present here with you, then am I really making the most out of the situation? It's a gift. Now my time's up, but this is what I want to do. Real quick, I'm going to challenge this room and see what kind of energy you have. Because I want it to resonate in your heart, and I want it to be wired into the neurological pathways of your brain. So when you walk out of here, there's one thing you'll remember from that guy that spoke at that event 10 years ago. When you're facing something really hard, when you get that one phone call that changes your life forever. Adversity equals opportunity. This side's going to have a chance. That side's going to have a chance. One side's going to win. One side's going to lose. This is your challenge in adversity. This is your challenge in opportunity. We're going to start on this side. When I say adversity, I want to hear you say opportunity. Adversity. Nope. Adversity. No way. Adversity. Nope. Adversity. Come on, folks. Get on your feet. Stand up. If you can't bring it from your heart, then I don't want to hear it. Stand up. You got 2 feet. Get on your feet. You got a shot. You got a shot. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Adversity. 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 I feel it. Can you feel it? Will you remember it? Will you bring it the next time you have adversity in your life? Do it in honor of my daughter. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your community. Do it because the only way you will claim your future is if you claim and own your now. And that's what you just did. And I appreciate the opportunity. Now, the next great opportunity that I have is to introduce the one and only Eugene Span from Career Source. You.
No, Mr. Hahn, I told you. I get it, okay? Be respectful. I got it. I put my jacket on 1,000 times. I took it off 1,000 times, okay? This is stupid. I'm done. They can beat me up if they want to. And you know why you only have one student? Because you don't know Kung Fu.
小追
What?
Come here. Check it on.
Mr. Hahn, I already...
Check it on. Check it on.
I don't have a jacket.
Check it on. Be strong. Check it on. Firm. Check it off. Remember, always strong. Check it off. Strong. Left foot back. Right feet back. Left feet back. Pick up your jacket.
Ooh, Mr.
Focus.
Okay.
Always concentrate. Left back. Right foot back. Pick up your jacket. Stay. Pick up your jacket. Strong. Hang it up. Hang it up. Hang up. And attitude. Strike. Hang up and attitude. Harder. Harder. Good. But no face. Check it out. Kung Fu lives in everything we do, Xiao Zhui. It lives in how we put on the jacket, how we take off the jacket. It lives in how we treat people. Everything is Kung Fu.
What we learn to do, we learn by doing. Thomas Jefferson. Speculative and operative. One of my favorite books, even as an older gentleman, is the little engine that could. Is anybody familiar with that? Oh, this is a tough crowd. Help me. So a brief synopsis, it's this small engine that was tasked with delivering goods to the other side of town. Now, the visual that I have for you, this is not that type of engine, small. And he had a mantra, I think I can, speculative. So to make a long story short, he gets to this mountain and he cannot cross because he doesn't believe that he has the strength to do it. So he's saying that I think I can, I think I can. I think I can, I think I can. And while he's thinking, other locomotives are passing him by. So he finally gets to the other side of town. And all of this time I thought that the story was about determination. But it was actually about time wasted. I want you to get this. Time wasted. So if you could just reflect, to give you a correlation in regards to time, and I'm here to speak specifically about careers and jobs. 10 years ago, just 10 years ago, speculative and operative. There were jobs that wasn't even created yet, careers that wasn't even created yet. For example, telemedicine physician, 10 years ago, and we utilize this to this day. It's a necessity. It's a need. It's vital. Also, a TikTok. Everybody, how many people got a TikTok page? Oh, yes, yes. 10 years ago, not even in existence. Drone operator, not even in existence, but they are vital to this day. You can get your packages delivered right to your doorstep. Pizza, right to your doorstep with a drone. My favorite, a chief listening officer. I was like, what is that? 10 years ago, a chief listening officer didn't exist. Now, this is a job that you will find in the human resources department, the employer side, as well as the employee. Works as a navigator to the actual truth, non-bias. Also, we all utilize Uber and Lyft. Just think, 10 years ago, not even in existence. Podcasts. Do I have any podcasters in here? Raise your hand. Any podcasters? Okay. It's a career, a job, or opportunity that might be available for you. Social media influencer. My niece introduced me to this gentleman who was just on Instagram, just opening up packages, and he had a facial expression for the different packages that he was opening up. And I don't know how many views he had. I was like, wow, this is an area of interest. Also, 10 years ago, COVID, tracer, COVID-19. And of course, COVID has changed a lot in the way that we do things. However, some things, and this is bold, this is firm, it's period, some things will never, ever, Chris Tucker Friday, ever change. And that's the way that we treat people. That's how that we respect one another. So to give you a little bit of context, if that was 10 years ago, Dell Technology tells us, along with the Institute for the Future, they say, well, 85% of jobs haven't even been created yet. They are non-existent at this time. The year 2030, these jobs haven't even been created. So my question to you is, this leaves us with an interesting conundrum, an interesting dynamic. How do we, some of us baby boomers, part of Generation X, we got millennials in the house, how do we prepare Generation Z? Hello, somebody. How do we prepare you, the next generation of leaders, how do we prepare you for these employment opportunities that haven't even existed yet? I see you with your hand up in the back. Great question. You came to the right one. I got you. Look how the people was looking like somebody really had their hand up. 85% of jobs haven't been created. But I got the cheat code if I was a gamer. How you could prepare yourself for those jobs. And today, time is of the essence. There's an African proverb that I want to press upon you. It says, where you sit when you're older will reflect where you stood in your youth. Yes. Where you sit when you're older will reflect where you stood in your youth. So the key and the question is, here it is right here. Take out your devices, please. Come on, do me a favor. Take out your devices. I need you to capture this. I need you to capture this. And trust me, your future self. Can you believe that employers are searching for these skills? Just for a moment. They are searching desperately for someone who can convey their thoughts. They are searching for individuals who, if you say you're going to do it, you do it. Individuals who are dependable. Your word is your bond. Also, emotional intelligence. My heart broke a few minutes ago listening to Brother Travis. And he still had to make things happen as a result of what was going on in his personal life. Every day is not going to be peachy peachy. Some days you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper. And when you dig deeper, keep and galvanize those emotions. So what is happening on the other side has no bearing on what's going on with that customer in regards to your job, your career. Also, being self-motivated. This is an intrinsic value. What motivates you? It's not the paycheck. It's not the accolades. It's not the admiration. This is something that I want to do. It's coming from the inside. Also teachable. Now, I know that's nobody in this room. I'm talking to Alexa and Siri right now. They know everything. They know absolutely everything. That's who I'm talking to. Have something where you can always have an opportunity to learn. My favorite, and this is so basic, courtesy. People, young people, please, thank you, excuse me, go a long way. Please, thank you, excuse me, go a long way. A positive attitude. I'm not the smartest cat in the room, but I tell you one thing, that I want to make sure that I got a positive attitude because it's contagious. Appearance. Your appearance says everything about you, young people. It allows people to trust your judgment. It gives a background on your experience and your exposure. It's called a nonverbal cue. And a nonverbal cue is when you're not even saying anything, tell me what I'm just doing right now. What is that? Hello. It's a nonverbal cue. Also, I want to be able to give you integrity. Oh, man. The importance of integrity these days, where everything seems that is the wrong thing, it's the right thing. When everybody else is going left, I want to encourage you to go right. Also, my favorite, teamwork. Teamwork and collaboration. I want you to look at the person next to you. Do you think you can work with them? Jack it off. Do you think you can work with them? Oh, this is a hard crowd here. Please. So here it is right here. I got a little exercise. I'm going to have a little fun. I want you to pay close attention to the direction because I don't want it to be no misunderstanding. Here it is right here. I have my left hand. And when the center of my right meets the middle of my left, I want you to personify it with a clap. Now, people, I'm not just looking for any ordinary clap. What I need from you is a thunderous clap. What I need from you is some energy on this part right here. Come on, you guys are young. Everybody's just sitting there like, okay, what's happening here? This is the part where I want to engage you just a little bit. So here it is. I want to give it the rules again. Give you the keys to the game. I'm pushing P. Here it is. All right, so here it is. Did he just say that? Yes, he did. All right, so here it is right here, left. And what I'm doing, I'm going to go directly in the middle, and I want you to personify it by clapping. You ready? People, listen, this is what I need from you. You guys are the future leaders. I'm getting a little nervous here, okay? Close attention. All right, let's go. Somebody that clapped now. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Please help me. Beautiful. All right. Okay. I think we might be warming up just a little bit. Here it is. All right, here it is right here. Now, let's stand up. Let's stand up. Yes. Let's stand up. Let's move around a little bit. Let's have some fun with this. All right, here it is. 1, 2, ready. Sound man, sound woman, sound person, give me some music. A few minutes ago, that was about paying attention, collaborative effort. It's the soft skills that not even future employers are looking for. Young people, today we have an awesome opportunity. And if you could just give me just a middle-aged man moment for a moment, I wish high school, I had an opportunity to interface with some of our most premium organizations, employers, right here in our own backyard. Young people, I will encourage you today, please, make it your business. Time. Each one of us, the most precious opportunity we have is time. Your talent, something that was given to you at birth to be able to give to the world. And it will definitely lead you towards your treasure. I want to leave you with this. To every person, there comes in their lifetime that special moment when you are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special, unique to you and your talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds you unprepared or unqualified for the work which could have been your finest hour. Today, young people, this is your finest hour. What we learn to do, we learn by doing. Interact. I would encourage you every single table today, even if you're not interested. It may be somebody that you're connected to that needs that information. Take advantage of this premium opportunity. Give me a thumbs up if you got something out of this presentation today. All right, one last time. 1, 2, that's my time. My name is Eugene Spann. What you're going to do, yes, thank you. What you're going to do, to my left, your right, every single table, young people, please make it get information. All right, let's have a great day. Thank you for coming today. Shout out to you. It's beautiful. Keep it up.
Hi, I'm Chris Cobb with the Education Network, and I hope you're enjoying these fun, exciting, informative presentations of the CYA Showcase. That's Claim Your Future Showcase, brought to you by the Business Development Board of Palm Beach County and the School District of Palm Beach County. Now, to keep this important conversation going, I'd like to introduce you to 3 very influential business members of our community. Let's start with Mr. Robert Weinroth, the mayor of Palm Beach County. Hello, Mr. Mayor. What's happening in PBC?
Well, Palm Beach County is red hot right now. We are seeing such a wonderful opportunity for businesses that are growing here in Palm Beach County, and we are so excited about these students watching today at home and also being here today, because this is an opportunity for them to understand what the future looks like for them.
Do you have any advice for these students that are looking?
We're looking for them to have the skills that are necessary for these new companies that are coming here to Palm Beach County. And this is a great opportunity to understand what skills are necessary as they're going forward with their education.
Amazing, wonderful. And next to you, Mr. Weinroth, is Mr. Eric Strati. He's the South Florida Market Executive for our grand sponsor, Wells Fargo. Thank you very much. Mr. Strati, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
Do you have anything to say as far as what these kids are going through right now and what they can do?
Most definitely, and just want to thank the BDB and the Palm Beach School Board for hosting this event. What I'd say is invest in your future. It's all about what you can do. Be curious, stay positive, work hard, and the future is yours.
What kind of careers are available to students in your industry, in the banking industry?
Well, so traditionally, financial services, you've got banking, you've got financial advisory, you've got investment banking, commercial banking, but it's not just that. There's technology, human resources. We do so much in the financial services industry. What I'd say is be curious, come on in, and we'll talk to you about what we can do with you.
Wonderful, wonderful. And now let's move down to the Senior Director of Talent Acquisitions, here I'll slide in between, for Florida Power and Light, Miss Melissa Miller. How are you, Mrs. Miller?
I'm great. Thanks for having us here today.
Do you have any advice you'd like to give the students that are looking for careers?
Advice, search out everything, understand what your opportunities are, work hard. We can give you the framework, but you make your career. And what you put into it is what you'll get out of it.
I'm curious, does Florida Power and Light offer any internships for students?
Yes, we have more than 200 interns join us every summer across the country. We do have a parent company, NextEra Energy. We are in 49 states, so we are having interns all across the company, but the heart of our interns are here in Palm Beach County.
That's wonderful. And how would someone go about learning about your internships?
Our internships post each year in September. They're posted from September to November, so it's important to start early to find out what's out there because we'll have all of our jobs filled the December before the upcoming summer. Our website is our main source, and we have one just for our internship program.
Excellent. And Mr. Strowdy, what kind of education would a student need to get a career in the banking industry?
So certainly a finance career, a career with accounting, finance, marketing would be something like that. But I'd say is really any kind of degree around even psychology, so many other skills that are needed in the workplace. Whatever you decide to study, you'll lean on throughout your entire career. So do what you're passionate, live and learn, and it will serve you very well in your career.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I thank all three of you for being here. Oh, Mr. Barbera, are you here? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Step right in here. Terrific. I'm glad you could join us. We have Mr. Michael Barbera, the Vice President of Operations for Palms West, HCA Florida. How are you today, Mr. Barbera?
Very well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Do you have anything to add to this conversation?
Everybody here, I've already spoken, and they have nailed everything that needs to be done. You need to take it as a challenge on a daily basis as far as your education, because you will get exactly where you put forth that effort every single day. And the careers, whether you're in any one of these industries or the healthcare industry, is just immense.
Terrific. Thank you very much. I'm glad you could join us.
I apologize for being
No, no problem. No problem at all. We thank you. We thank all four of you for being here. And yes? Oh, the mayor? Oh, okay. Let's go back to the mayor. I've been informed to ask the mayor a couple more questions. We're happy to have his time, so we better make good use of it, right, Mr. Mayor?
Absolutely.
Now, is there anything happening within the county that students could look for as far as job opportunities are concerned?
The Business Development Board has been attracting a lot of new companies here to Palm Beach County. There's a lot of opportunity in financial services, and again, the opportunities are enormous. All we need to do is grab those opportunities, have the educational background to be able to accept a job offer that's going to be given to them.
And I'm curious, does the county offer internships as well?
The county does. The county always is looking for new talent, and they should be looking to the county for opportunities that we're offering.
That's wonderful. And as far as I can see, there's a lot of talent in this room. And I truly hope that the students are taking advantage of this opportunity, speaking to these people, speaking to the vendors outside. Does anybody else have anything else they want? Ms. Miller, you'd like to add something?
I would love to add, at Florida Power and Light, NextEra Energy, I just want everybody to know, regardless of your career opportunity, we've talked about so many different degrees. We have jobs from IT, cybersecurity. We have drone pilots and drone aviation departments, HR, all of your staff groups, finance, accounting. I usually tell people, tell me what your degree is and let me find the home for you. But most important, I also want to remind the students that regardless of the path you take, we have lots of technical jobs, we have lots of field work. We hire everybody from plumbers and electricians and power generation sites and line workers in our field work, as well as all of our college graduates through a variety of different degrees. So the world's out there, and it's just finding the right oyster to open.
Absolutely. I think we could end on that. That's a wonderful piece of advice. Thank you all very much for joining us today. And I'd like to thank you for joining us today and taking that next step in your life to create your future.